Well, let me thank my colleague from Louisiana for his generous words, and thank all of my colleagues for the generous spirit that we find in the chamber today. I think that the bill that we have before us that embodies an agreement that Speaker Pelosi and I came to last week along with the administration is going to help middle-class families who they're in a pinch. Their cost of living is rising, whether it be the cost of health insurance, the cost of gasoline, energy, and at a time when their salaries and their incomes aren't rising. And I think that what the American people want is they want solutions to the problems that we face in our country. And I believe that the bipartisan measure that we have will, in fact, help give a short-term boost to our economy. It'll put money in the pockets of American families. It will give businesses reasons to invest in new equipment to maintain and hopefully to expand their employment. Is the bill perfect? No, it's not perfect. Republicans gave a little, the Speaker gave a little, and at the end of the day, we came to an agreement that I think represents what the American people expect of us. They expect us to find ways to work together, not reasons to continue to fight with each other. And the bill that we have before us is the way good legislation occurs. I've said this many times before. If I look back over my career in Congress, the bills that I remember most, the most significant legislation that I've worked on, has always been done in a bipartisan way, whether I was in the minority or in the majority. And I'm going to thank Speaker Pelosi for her willingness to sit down and work together in a bipartisan way, in a constructive way. I want to thank Secretary of Treasury Paulson for their work in helping to facilitate this agreement. And I look forward to this bill passing today and hopefully quick action in the Senate. The sooner this happens and the sooner we get this relief in the hands of the American people, the sooner they can begin to do their job of being good consumers and investing this money in our economy. Some people say it won't work, that it's too little, it's too late, and we shouldn't be doing this. I've thought about that. I've got concerns about whether this package will in fact work. But I've got bigger concerns that if we do nothing, we're just asking for our economy to slow even further. And what that will do to federal revenues, what that will do to inflict pain on middle-class American families, frankly, is unacceptable. And so I think it's worth the chance and worth the opportunity for us to do this economic growth package and to do it now. Now, having said that, we've got a longer-term issue in terms of economic growth in America. Our economy, frankly, has been very good. If you go back over the last 15 years, we've had a very strong economy. We've had a couple of slowdowns along the way. But when you look down the road, there are some clouds on the horizon that we ought to be concerned about. The idea that the tax relief that we put in place earlier this decade to help those who invest in our economy, those who pay taxes on our economy, the fact that that tax relief was temporary and might come back, I think causes a lot of investors to wonder whether they should invest more in America's economy. And so making that tax relief permanent is a very important part of our long-term economic growth. Secondly, corporations in America pay taxes. And a lot of members think corporations pay taxes. The entity pays taxes to the federal government, but corporations don't pay taxes. Their customers and their employees pay taxes. And having a tax structure on corporate America that gives them reason to wonder, should they locate here or should they locate somewhere else, I think is, again, sending the wrong signal. If we want people to invest in our economy, our corporate tax structure has to be competitive with those around the world. And today it is not, and it needs to be done. The tax extenders that we've talked about in the past, especially the research and development tax credit, that gives companies a reason to invest in research and development here in the United States, is critical to our long-term success. And why that hasn't been reauthorized as yet is beyond me, but I hope that it'll be reauthorized soon. Mr. Speaker, many Americans, in my view, correctly believe that Washington is broken. I hope the disagreement in this bipartisan bill that we'll move today gives Americans some hope that we really can begin to fix the problems, that we can begin to make sure that Washington works for the American people. And so I'm glad to be here today. I'm glad to join with Speaker Pelosi and my colleagues on both sides of the aisle in hailing this agreement and moving it in a bipartisan way, and hopeful that the Senate can move very quickly. I yield back.